I did install Battlefield 2042 again because they had an event recently, and because Battlefield 6 is coming out, and I'm a huge Battlefield fan, and I'm playing it. I got this laptop here while I'm here in Florida, and like it's like such a fun, like there's no game like Battlefield. Only Battlefield does Battlefield, where it's like
I feel inconsequential though.
Like, you mean it's not a good thing?
No, in Battlefield, I feel inconsequential as a player.
Oh yeah. But that's why when you do something like pilot a chopper and become the guy, like you really are him.
Shit, if I can fly a chopper in Battlefield, I'd be playing Battlefield. You think you can fly a chopper? You know as well as I do, it shit's hard.
So like what I do, like in Battlefield, like for example, like a perfect thing, because you're right, like you're inconsequential, and like this is why like a good squad could change things. But like Battlefield, like a lot of people like really discount smokes, and I like to be a medic, and I'm always like epic heal time. So I'm like a medic.
He like looks around in the empty room he's in.
But you guys remember 2013?
That was a banger.
2013, no one? Okay. And I'm like, and I like, the team will be losing, and I'll come into a room and it's like a losing match, and I'll like get on the comms, and I'll be like, yo, we're going to smoke out this whole ridge here up to Alpha. We're going to take it, and then we're going to smoke to B. So when you die, get smokes. Bring out smokes. Let's go smokes. And then, like, you don't really get confirmations from people and stuff, but you'll see the actions as smokes start getting popped there. And now we're all running, and it's like, oh, we're doing something that is, like, that much more effort than, like, 90% of the other team. Then that shifts stuff. And like this happens, like I love Hell Let Loose and Squad. I like these games because like
let me interrupt you. I want to get into Squad. Like I keep watching Squad, and I feel like that's what like the people who are my age who used to be Call of Duty kids, like Squad's the next step. It's the old man Call of Duty.
You get real military guys in there.
I know.
And I like that. But the thing for me is like, I'm not like, I like, you know, I spent a lot of time like running a team, leading a team in my work life. And sometimes I'm with people and they're like, they'll look at me and they'll be like, oh, sometimes because you're a loudest guy, they'll be like, what should we do? Yeah. Where do you want to go? Like, you know, you have to like make decisions. And so when I boot up the game, I'm like, I just want to be a stupid fucking grunt.
Tell me what to do.
I want like someone to tell me what to do. And more often than not, about halfway through, I'm just like, so it's got to be me, eh? and then I switch to the squad leader. I'm like, all right, guys, listen up. And I'm like, why is it happening?
The colors can't touch the ground. And all of a sudden, you're standing on a pile of bodies, waving the maple leaf. Those who don't know, I don't know if you know, Woody, Squad is fucking borderline military simulator in the tactics, the team sizes, the scenarios. Even they often do like Iraqis versus coalition. You know, and they'll be in the city and you got to go into the city and get them or vice versa. And it looks, the gunplay and everything reminds me a little bit of Tarkov, but even more hardcore maybe. Like if it seems like the SAW just doesn't have any recoil, because it doesn't. SAWs don't have recoil. They just sit there like laser beams killing things. Looks fun to me, but I definitely need somebody to hold my goddamn hand because I don't think you want to jump into that by yourself.
I bet you'll get it now.
What's the team sizes like in Squad?
It depends. It depends like on what the game is, but they go really high. I thought they were like 100 people. I thought it was like 100 people in there.
Yeah. So the reason that appeals to me over Battlefield, because they both have like these big battles and everything, is that in Squad there is always every video I've ever seen. Let me say that because I've never played Squad, maybe once or twice, but every video I've ever seen. There's a command structure and there's a plan, and there are like people below whoever's calling the shots who have called the shots before, and they've got like squads, and it feels very much like real life. It does. I mean, people will shoot the shit a little bit, but there's a lot of people talking army talk, like you know what I mean? Like, and it's very much business and not play at the time.
They're actual like military dudes. I shared this video from this guy, Moy Dog. It's like a 1 hour video, but what's cool is he has like a server and he like does a drone shot. And so he flies over and you could see like a big picture of what it is. And it's cool because it's like, they're like real, like you might see like the Australia military versus Canadian Armed Forces in like a war exercise thing, and it's like how it would play out, but they all limited to their camos and their guns and their vehicles and stuff like that. And this guy does like a great job of like flying around, and like the graphics look so sick from like the air when you're watching it, because it's like
I've watched these before. This is how I know about the game mostly, is this guy's videos.
Yeah. They're awesome. They're really
that
cool.
appeals to me a ton, you see, because I feel like we're all working together. We're being serious about what we're doing. Like one of the things, like I'm okay being if we're going to play a silly game, and we'll all be silly in the silly game. But if we're going to play the serious game, I don't want anybody being silly, because I'm not being silly. I'm trying, aren't you? Because if not, what the fuck are you doing here? That's my attitude. Like if we're gonna like run a 4-man Tarkov or something, or if we're gonna agree to do a 150-hour Baldur's Gate playthrough,
dude,
you better mean it.
I play Valorant sometimes, and I've gone onto Valorant, and I don't normally get on the microphone. So I get into Valorant, and like this happened not that long ago. Is I get in there and I'm in the room, and this kid's like, "All right, guys, so let's rush bomb site A." And this other guy's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna rush bomb site A, you fucking loser! Shut up, bro. What are you, gay?" And then I get on the mic and I'm like, "Yo, dude, you shut the fuck up, okay? I'm sitting here. I don't have much time to game right now. When I game, I want to win. I'm sure you're here because you want to win also." He's showing some balls. He's got orders for us. He's got a strategy. And unless you got something better, shut the fuck up and listen. And like sometimes when you come in with like that attitude and energy, like teacher voice.
Exactly. I was going to say, you sound like a teacher.
They're literally like, and they stop.
You know, Harley taught, right?
Yeah, that's
right. There's a lot of people in games.
So fun to see Harley coming. Like at my school, we knew the substitutes. They had the same lineup. I know that I'd be praying, like, "Oh, I think we got the big guy. Oh, I hope."
I used to do that in COD, like provide a little leadership. All right, guys, we're pushing here, whatever. And people would line up. And like you said, they didn't always reply, but sure enough, you see it in their actions. Like, and the team gets a little coordinated, and not always, but often.
Yeah, most people want that. Most people want that. They've been playing that mindless COD all day, and to hear that there's a mission to do now, it's just like it's single player. Like when some NPC's like, "Hey, I've lost my grandfather's hammer, adventurer. Would you explore the shithole over there? It fell in one of the latrines." And you'll be like, "Actually, yeah, I was looking for something to do. I'll dig through shit for your grandfather's hammer." You just want something to do, some order, some discipline, some structure. And so, like, somebody tells me to do something in a game, I'm like, "Yeah, how you want me to do it? I'm happy to be part of this team."
Yeah,
working together is my favorite part of gaming.
That's very true. It's more satisfying to get a win when you had a plan going in, even if maybe you would have won without the plan.
Do you ever have any AOE like hammer anvil moments? What I mean by that, and like in those games, you'll have your anvil will be some infantry up front who's like stopped the enemy, but in from behind comes a cavalry charge to hammer anvil, and that kind of motion is just destroys them. If you can imagine.
Yeah, you'll do that. It has to be like pretty quick because it's real-time strategy.
Or when I'm getting used to a game, I'm always like, the first thing is I'm like, "Hey, what's something that I'm not going to fuck up? What's going to be all right? What could I do?" And then later down the line, that first simple thing ends up being so important. And like, there aren't people around to do, like Battlefield. If you take like your flying transport ship that can carry like 8 guys, and if the enemy gets control of it and like they park it and protect it, you'll never have that ability. It's not going to spawn again for you. So you never want to fucking let that shit fall into enemy hands. And like, I'll sit there flying, picking troops up and dropping them off at parts and like giving people lifts. And like, it's sick. There's that game Foxhole. I haven't played it, but I've had it downloaded.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a huge scale war game, like top down. And like, you have to like spend time like packing ammunition. Like, you have to set up logistics and like supply lines. You have to like drive a truck to the front line filled with bullets for your teammates, and you have to like pack those bullets with like gunpowder and stuff. And so there's this whole process, like part of the war that is not just like shooting and stuff like that. And like, I think that's cool.
Yeah, you have to like keep an economy going, like it's a real-time strategy game,
like an RTS.
Dude, I have brought this to your attention multiple times and begged people to play, and nobody will play with me. I own it. I'm down. I've played it.
I own it also, and I have not played it. And
it's sick. It's sick, but it's one of those games where it's like I'm a tiny piece in a puzzle, and none of the other pieces will talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm blue and I've got a straight edge in the corner. Where do I go? And there's just silence of the universe. But if you had a team, and especially you usually need a guide for a game like that. But it seems like you've got people in the back like fueling the economy of war, genuinely like making armaments and then getting them, transporting them. There's that supply chain thing, and it looks very in depth.
Oh, do you just play your individual role, or are you kind of like I think
you play your individual guy, but he can do anything. So you can choose what he does, but you're not going to be, say, shooting people on the front line while you simultaneously
and running eco.
You're going to do one thing, like you're, like RL.
The thing with that whole concept of knowing that you're Darth Vader, which is really interesting, is that I saw one of these Chinese games implemented AI in the teammates. So the teammates, and I know like Skyrim kind of had this going on for a bit, but like this was really interesting, was the guy was playing with AI teammates, and he was like, he was saying to his teammates, and there's like a video for it. He's like, Alpha, go to the second floor, clear that. Bravo, go to the door on the side, open and flashbang. And he's like, got it. And that's cool. But what was really cool was when he was like, Bravo, shoot Alpha. And he was like, negative, no friendly fire. And he was like, okay, snake mode. And they're like stealth engaged and they lie on the ground. Like they knew you could say things to them and they understood contextually like what it meant. Like you could talk to your teammates. And what I thought would be so cool about that is if you played a game where like you were it's you and you have a teammate, and like you're there, and like like maybe you start off and it's like a military, and your teammate's like, first mission. I remember my first mission. Yeah. So were you the cool kid in high school? And then you're like, nah, I was kind of gay in high school. I don't know. I got bullied a lot, but and it's like, so why'd you sign up to the service? And you're like, oh, because whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the game, maybe this guy ends up being the bad guy. And he's like, he's like, must remind you like back in high school when you used to get, and like you say shit that you said to him. And it's like a personal connection that you've invested with this like computer character, but it like could, the results could be so endless.
Did you ever play SOCOM Navy SEAls 2002, 2003 on PlayStation?
Probably my top 5 favorite guys ever. SOCOM 1, 2, and 3, so fucking sick.
2002 game, you had voice command for your teammates. You could voice command the AI teammates in that game. It was
Alpha.
Did it work well?
Bravo, engage. It worked perfectly. It was insane.
I think you could tell them to throw flash grenades and stuff too. Like it was a little.
So there were some like canned lines it was listening for.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't be like, "Hey, Pete, I need you to run around the side of the building, hop on that car, and then go in."
No,
and
you
check
literally
the
say like Alpha or Bravo, and those are the two teams, or you'll say like team. So it's like of those three, and then like the next thing will be like move to, stealth to, run to, or Bravo, set up Overwatch at Zulu, and you can put like a point down that would be Zulu, and they'll go on Zulu, stand there, and they'll Overwatch, and it's cool because they'll be like we're on Overwatch, and that game was so fucking sick.
23 years
like,
ago.
One of the characters was like the translator, so you'll be there, and the guys are all like, oh, the Americans are coming for the hostage, we must have whatever. But if your guy got killed earlier, you get there, that part they're speaking Arabic. You don't know because your translating teammate died. And this is just like so old school. And the game had one of the best systems. It was a weight-based system. So, and this carried over to online. So if I wanted to have like a sniper rifle 50 cal with a thermal scope on it, and I wanted to have like a deagle, and I wanted to have 4 grenades and 4 smokes and blah, 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 you had all that, but you were like slower. And it was such a nice trade-off. So like you would sometimes be like, okay, we're going to be fast. MP5s with silencers and like 1 grenade, 1 flashbang. Your guys are like super fast and quiet. And it's like just like a system that never really carried over moving forward. But I played the shit out of those games online. I loved it so much. I had the PlayStation Network adapter, and I was like absolutely so fucking hyped about it. I thought it was the sickest shit.